All right, here we go. Planting for the spring again. What we're doing is we're going to put potatoes in the ground, and that god-awful sound in the background, that's my tiller. If you can see it back here, it needs a little bit of a tune-up, but it works. So this is where we tried our peas at last year. We replanted them 2 or 3 times, and I don't know, for some reason they didn't grow last year. I know there's a lot of shade on here right now. We'll be clearing out some of these woods back here later on to give us a little more sunlight, but what we're going to do now is we're going to put potatoes in. And I tilled this 2 weeks ago, and we got a rain, and I was out here trying to hoe it, and it got packed down again. So what I'm going to do, you see I got 1 row going right here where I've tilled. I'm going to do 3 rows out here, and that's roughly 3 feet apart. That's what you need for potatoes. And we're going to plant some Yukon Gold potatoes and some type of Irish potato. And I'll show you those here in a little bit, but that's what we got going right now, is just preparing the soil. So, all right, now we've got it tilled up, like my shadow. So basically we've got 3 rows, and we're going to put, well, almost 3 complete rows. We still got these 2 blueberries. I was going to move them this year, but I didn't. And I think I'll just leave them again. We'll see what happens later if I need that space, but it's not that much space. So I've got the 3 rows planted, and my drop time behind my tiller, I got it dug down pretty good. So what we're going to do is we're going to put these potatoes about 4 inches deep and 12 inches apart. And like I said, the rows are 3 feet apart, roughly. So that's what we're going to do, and then we'll show you a little bit more about that in just a second. Okay, here's the potatoes we're going to use, and I've only got 10 pounds of each because I don't have a whole lot of room to put potatoes. And these are the Yukon Golds on the right, and then the left, these are the Irish potatoes. And what I did, you see they're kind of small. I waited too long, I believe, to get just regular potatoes. And I mean, I could still cut some of these up, but a lot of times people, they will cut the potatoes up and let them cure for about a week or so. And what happens is they can cut this 1 potato and get 2 plantings out of it. Just cut it in half and then let it dry out. What it'll do is it'll grow a film over the part that you cut and heal up, and then now you can plant this twice. But I don't have, as you see, I don't have a whole lot of room to plant, and so I just went through the box and got out the smallest ones I could find, and then I'll just plant these direct, and we'll go from there. They look pretty much the same. I guess they're all dirty, so yeah, you can see it's a little bit red. So all right, we're fixing to get these guys in the ground. All right, we started putting these Yukon Golds down. Like I said, they're spaced out 12 inches apart. And how do I know that? Well, if you come down here, I know it looks, I mean, you don't have to do it exact, but I got my helper out here and I said, hey man, can we do these 12 inches apart? And he said, sure, let me get something. And look what he got, a yardstick. Don't see those too often anymore. That one's actually Home Depot. It ain't that old, I don't guess. Of course, I didn't buy it. I don't shop at the Home Depot. I shop at Lowe's, but it was here. It was my dad's. So Leland is just trying to get as accurate as he can with them and plant them 12 inches apart, and then he's putting, how are you planting them in the ground, son?
Just setting it down on the dirt.
Yeah, but is it got to go a certain direction?
Yes, the eyes have to face forward.
Face forward? Which way is
up.
forward? Up.
Yes.
Okay, what's the eye? What's an eye of a potato look like? Show me. Come up here. Tell me, what is it?
It's kind of a root.
Kind of a root. That's where he's, yeah, that's where he's sprouting out right there. So that's going to face up, right?
Right.
Well, no, what if it's on both sides? Then what? A trick question. All right, go ahead. All right, so I'm going to let him finish this up, and then he's getting to it. So we'll get back with you here in just a second. All right, there's our 3 rows, and we got them planted all the way to the other end, and that's probably, oh, I don't know, 40 feet, I guess. And we ran out in this section right here. We could probably put 20 something more potatoes right there. So Leland put the Yukon Golds, that's these, if I can, on this side, and then I've got the Irish potatoes there, and then all the way down this side. And got a little bit of sun in there, and I'm going to open this up because see that's got to come down. All this is coming down. That's just the woods behind my house. I'm at the back of the property, and oh, and I'll be able to show you later. You can't see it now, but right over in this area. Well, let's go over there and see, because it's not bloomed out yet. But this is muscadine, wild muscadine, coming out of the woods, and so I've got him going down my fence row this way, and I got him going down this way a little bit. And I have other muscadines or scuppernons planted in the chicken coop, and I'll show you that later. But right now we're just looking at potatoes. Looks good. We got them in the ground, so now we're just going to cover them up, and they'll be about 4 inches deep. And then we'll water them in pretty good, right, son? We're going to water them in, and then we'll need to water them every couple of days for a couple of weeks, and then we can back off on the water in a little bit. But once they pop up out of the ground and get a little height on them, then we'll mound them up again, kind of like you do with an onion. When the onions get bigger, you kind of mound around them. And so we'll do that, and then once they bloom, that means they're getting ready to, well, I guess they're getting ready to spud underneath the ground. Then we'll mound them up one more time. So, but that's them. That's probably the easiest seeds we put in the ground, huh? Yeah. They're big and they're spaced out and easy to find, not like a celery seed or something where you can't even hardly tell. Okay, we got all of our potatoes covered up and healed up a little bit, and we're just adding some water to it. Leland's got the hose down there, and we're just trying to water these guys in. And we're looking between 100 to 120 days for before the harvest. So I believe the Yukons will harvest first, and then the red potatoes will be afterwards. So we'll get them at 2 different times. But that's it, and we'll keep you updated whenever things start blooming in the garden. All right, thanks again.